Hop in for a ride with us as we go up to Dearborn, Michigan to the Henry Ford Museum to see original artifacts, photographs, and their study of motor car camping from the early teens to the 1940s and 50s even. We'll see original photographs, and we'll see how a few friends decided to get to go camping together, and they happen to be the most famous men in America. So if you like this type of stuff, stay tuned for more. Here's a Packard, the second car to cross the whole United States. After a 61-day journey, the man says, "I do not care to make the trip again." So for our motor camping adventurers, we have a 1927 Gilkey tent trailer that by day was folded up and ridden on the two wheels. It's like a Model T wheel kind of. And then by night, said it was turned into all the comforts of home, as you can see here. This was advertised in a 1933 catalog. They waited a year for this wonderful vacation. So one thing that Renee noticed right away on the trailer itself, on the body of it, is they have had two electrical outlets installed there. I don't know if that's from that period or later, but that is very noteworthy. And as you can see here, it says Camp Wahoo. So I don't have anyone I know that has something like that, but if you do, leave a comment below and let me know what you think about it. So they have some artifacts here from auto camping, and one is a magazine called Motor Camper and Tourist from November 1925. It was 35 cents when it came out, and I am sure that in it would be tons. So that would be a good one for us to research and try to find. Another interesting thing is collapsible paper cup set given away by Saucony service stations about 1920. For picnics and motoring, traveling too, I hope these cups will be useful for you. So collapsible paper cups for motor campers given away at service stations. And there is an Upton grill, pan, cup, and coffee pot. 1920 to 25. And then here's the rest of it right there. It says here, by the 1920s, too many Carefree Campers were invading private property, littering roadsides and public streams. So many localities established public auto camps with clean water and privies to deal with the problem. Here is a 1914 Ford owner ad that shows all ready for lights out. It shows how you can sleep above the seats or below for the kids. Great picture. It says here in 1915 there was only one car that entered the Yellowstone Park, but by 1920 5,000 had entered the park. The need for auto camps was obvious. This display here is very close to my heart and very endearing. It talks about the Vagabonds, who was Thomas Edison standing on the left, Henry Ford sitting on top of the water wheel, and then Harvey Firestone. And they would go together on camping trips all over the country, especially in the South. And I actually met a man that met them, and I remember, and I'll tell the story a little bit later, but just see a picture of friends going camping who just happened to be the most influential men of their time. It says here Thomas Edison was considered the group's leader and served as a route picker and navigator. By 1921, a large dining table had to be created to make room for the wives and additional guests for these Vagabonds trips. And there's Henry Ford there. And there's, I presume to be Edison there. Here they are on an early morning in 1921 in the state of Maryland. And of course you can tell there's Edison and there's Henry Ford shaving. By 1921, even President Harding, front left, riding in Maryland with the Vagabonds. Chester Harding right there, the President of the United States, goes camping along with these gentlemen. And there's Henry Ford right there. Said that President Calvin Coolidge, who is sitting right. In 2000, I met a 90-year-old Hugh Tankersley who was from western part of Virginia, and he met Ford and Edison and Firestone in August of 1918 on this very trip right here, and told me all about it. Here's a meat fork and a pancake turner used by the Vagabonds on the camping trip from 1916 to 1924, given by Henry Ford himself for this display. And right here is a water pitcher that they actually used from 1916 to 1924. So this is an interesting display also. It says that by the 30s, people were already building their own trailers. So this is a 1937 book that teaches you how to build your own camp trailer there. And here is an example of one from 1939 and with a striped awning. And here is an example of a striped awning, even though it isn't that old. It gives you an idea. So it shows in 1930 here that the covered wagon trailers had a dining room. No more sitting on the stump, no more inconveniences. So here is a 1930 classic camping, just up a notch. Another picture from that same folio. Not too shabby for camping back in the day. Said that Wally Bime was making plans to build these trailers in the 1930s. And so here in the 30s you can see examples of these travel trailers. This one's made of masonite, a precursor to the Airstream, which came about in 1936, it said, by Wally. Here's an article in 1935 Popular Mechanic magazine introducing Wally's Airstream. So by 1935, the Airstream was on the radar. Pulled by a car. So by the 30s, it said that people were starting to get less interested in staying at a fancy hotel. And so instead of camping out on the roadsides, they would actually find these little tourist cabins along the wayside. Here's one in 1929 in Maine. And we have actually seen just a few weeks ago up in Maine one of these, very similar to these. They still have these up there. They're more modern built, but it's the same concept. And we see them, quite a few of them up near Moosehead Lake. So this is an original that they have recreated that environment for you to see what it would have looked like. There's your roadside maps and things. Your suitcase, a little table stand and a chair. And in the back, a potbelly stove to keep you warm. So this motorist cabin was built in 1936. So it is applicable to right after our Model A era. Really neat.
1950s.
And lastly, to wrap it up, we have a 1959 Volkswagen Westfalia. It's an all-contained unit motor camping exploration device with a beautiful striped awning. So that concludes our tour of the Henry Ford Museum's motor car camping exhibition. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, please like, and share with your friends. Thank you.